Okay, let's hope that it's recording and you can hear me and that everything goes fine. So this is our final project about the stocks and, all that fun stuff. So the first option was stocks. I chose Amazon and I found the total earnings by doing double time, and you would earn the amount right there. And here is how I got the values. As I took, after I found the double time and the percent, I took 30,000 and I multiplied that by 16.8%, and whatever that was, I added that to the 30,000, and then so on and so forth to be able to find out the next 10 years. Some of the advantages and disadvantages were, pros being you have less fees when you stay with a company. You can, know where your money's going and things like that, and you have control. Some of the cons were that you have to rely on the companies, and only having one stock with somebody I feel like could take longer. If you have a couple stocks with the same company, I feel like it's easier and also maybe more reliable. And then option two, we could do a 10-year CD, and I looked up the highest rate, and it was 1.10%. To enter, you had to have a minimum, or your maturity at the beginning is 500. The maturity at the end of the 10 years would be that amount. And I just feel like it's the lesser of all the options, and I feel like it takes almost longer to earn that much money. So here are the values right here. As you see, you wouldn't make as much as if you were with Amazon or put your money into something else. Some of the advantages are that it's actually very safe and you can choose certain terms. So say if you wanted to do 6 months to a year, you could decide, when you don't want to take your money out to where that your money can invest and grow. But the cons to that is that you can't access your money that easily, and also rate of inflation could differ and you never know how much your money is actually gaining. Option three was rental properties. So I feel like it can be very tricky when you're, buying homes or even going to rent a home out. But by the end of the 10 years, you could only get about, I'll round up to about 30 grand. So the advantages would be, you would be able to have somebody pay the mortgage because that would be their rent. You would be making money probably off of that. But some of the cons are that if you do rent out homes to people, you might want to, know who you're renting them out to. They could damage your home. You could end up paying more money. They could make the neighborhood worse if they, throw parties or young, depending on who it is. So I would keep an eye out for that. Our last option, we were allowed to choose whichever we wanted to invest in. And I try to think of a million things, baseball cards to, I don't know, retirement, maybe something like that. But I chose there's metals that you can actually invest in. And I feel like this is somewhat of a smarter choice because depending on what kind of metals you invest in or what kind of demand is in the time that you do invest in, that your money could be at a very high rate. But the only con being is, let's say that, supply and demand is not where it needs to be, that you could probably end up spending more money on the metals than what you will get selling them. So my conclusion is that I would invest my money into the stocks because you will earn more money by the end of 10 years with Amazon, which I chose, than any other option. And that is my conclusion.